Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing great. So today we are going to see some examples of iloc and loc. So let's begin. So I have a data set tips that I have taken from Seaborn library. So suppose I want to index this data set or I want to slice this data set using iloc, then how will I do it? Say for example, I want to extract a particular row from the data set. So I will be using tf.iloc and inside the bracket I will give the row that I want to extract. I need not give the column, I just want the row, then I will give only the row number and by default it will take all the columns. So I execute it, I get all the values of the row. So if in the result, if I want that it should be in the row format, what I will do is that tf.iloc and inside the iloc I will give double brackets and inside that I will give the index of the row that I want. So this will give me the zeroth, that is the first row. Now say for example I want only the first and the fourth row, then I will give tf.iloc and index 0 and 3 because this is the fourth row, and I'll execute it. I get the first and the fourth row. For example, I need second to seventh row. So what will I type then? So I will type tf.iloc and I will give second, that is 1 up till 7th. So here it will be 7 because it will be till 6, but if we want to count 6 then we need to give 7 because 7 will not be counted, and I execute it, then I'll get from second row to 7th row. And then for example if I want any particular column, for example I want the first column, the total bill, and also I want the day. Now the day is 1 2 3 4 5, fifth column, so that means the value will be 4, index value of the column will be 4. So I will give 0 comma 4 and I will close the bracket and I will close this complete bracket. I hope you get this why I am giving it in the square bracket, because we are not giving a range, we are giving the index number of the columns only, and I execute it. I get the respective rows and the columns that I want. Suppose I don't want these two rows, I want only the last column, so I can also give -1. By default it will take the last column and I get the values of the last column, that is the size 2 3 3, and it starts from here 3. Now let us take another example. So suppose I want only the first column, that is the total bill, and I want only the last column, size 233. Okay, and I want only the first row and I want the last row. What will I type? So in that case I need not know what is the data frame size. I can dynamically give these values like this: iloc, and for row index I will give 0 comma -1. So 0 will give me the first row and -1 will give me the last row. By default, whatsoever be the size of the number of rows. And again similarly for the columns I will give 0 and then I will give -1 and I will execute it. So this will give me the first row and the last row with first column and the last column. You can check. Okay, so this was it for the iloc. Let's begin for loc examples. Now in loc examples, when we apply loc functionality, we give the name of the index and not actually the index number. For example, if the name of this particular row is 1, so we give this name, and if the column name is total bill, we give the name of the column. So let's have some example based on some condition. So we will give some condition. The condition will give us the output as true or false, and we will mask our data based on those true and false Boolean conditions to get the results. Okay, let's see. So suppose that I want to fetch values. For example, the total bill for a customer is greater than $15, or say less than $15, but the tip amount is greater than $3. So there will be some reduction in the data based on our condition. Okay, let's see. So I'll apply TF total bill is less than $15. So this is one condition, but when we are applying one or more conditions, we should give a open close parenthesis, because this is a set of true and false for this condition. And I also want another condition. So here important operator is also AND. So I will give AND with ampersand, and then I'll again write open close parenthesis, and then I will write df, and then tip, or it's tips, let's check. Yeah, it's tip, and tip is greater than $3. So we have two conditions. So these both conditions should satisfy to give the overall condition as true. Only those conditions which are true on overall will be sent to us as the result. So let's execute it. So this gives me very filtered data. So this has less than $15 as total bill, but the tip amount is quite high as per the percentage of the bill for that particular table. Now let's apply one more condition. So you see, when we are applying more conditions, so the data will narrow down. We are applying more filtering to it. So I type tf lock, and say suppose I take first two conditions same as these two, and I apply one more condition, and say I say that the time is dinner. So I will again apply open close parenthesis, and inside df I will type column as time, and the time is dinner time, and then I execute it. I get further lesser data than this because I'm applying more conditions to it. As for example, if I want to know a population size of particular continent, say Asia, then I drill down to I want population of South Asia. Then I further drill down, I want a particular country population. So this way I'm narrowing down my data. I'm applying more conditions, more filtering to it. So this is how we can do indexing or slicing of the data based on condition using lock. Okay, so let's see how we can use OR operator also. So I take the same statement with same conditions, and I add the OR operator. So inside the lock we give OR operator with this, and after OR operator I give this condition that smoker is yes. So I have applied one more parenthesis which is encapsulating these two conditions together. So in any of these, either of these are true, then the overall condition, the script condition, is also true. Otherwise it's false. If both are false, then it's false. So if this overall group condition is true, this is true and this is true, then that particular indexed row will be true and that will be giving us as the results. So let's execute it. So I get these set of rows which satisfies this particular condition. So if I remove this parenthesis that I have grouped and I execute this, this will change the complete story. I get 97 rows because this will become a separate condition, and after OR this becomes a separate condition, and these three conditions, if are true and this is false, then also it will give us that row, and if either of these three is false and if this particular condition is true, still it will give me that particular row as the result. But if this is also false and any of these three AND conditions is also false, it will not return that particular row. So that's it for this particular video. I'll see you in the next video. Please do subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.